everybody? I'm Matt Pierce and welcome back to the budget Mk6 GTI. As you guys can see, yeah, it snowed here recently and it's almost May. Anyways, today I'm going to be addressing the turbo sounds that this car makes inside the cabin. You can hear them in a few of my videos and I get a lot of questions asking what diverter valve I have on this car that allows it to make those noises. Now, originally when I first started this channel, I made a video on an actual blow-off valve sound diverter valve, and that was the ECS diverter valve spacer, and that did make sounds that you could hear outside of the car, like a sort of turbo sound. But my tuner at the time recommended that I don't run something like that because it can spray oil everywhere and mess with your tune. I ended up going with an OEM updated version because my OEM diverter valve that came on this car was broken, but I still wanted the turbo sounds, so I came up with a way to get the turbo sounds inside the car for me to hear while still having the complete OEM DV setup. So I haven't seen anyone else do anything like this, but I'll pop the engine bay so you guys can see this. This was really cheap for me to set up. So if I pop the hood here, so your turbo is, you know, all the way there where your intake leads into. And here is the intake air filter. You can hear a lot of turbo sounds, it turns out, through the intake. That's obviously, like, you see all the videos, people pop their hoods on their GTIs and they just rev it and it goes like that, and you can hear the turbo sound. Now, what I have set up here on the car, I have an enclosed air box sort of thing, where it's more like a cylinder. And if you look under it, you can see that tube right there, right in the center of the screen. I installed that by cutting a hole in this little intake air box with a circular saw and routing a tube that I got from Home Depot from this air cylinder box thing right before the filter, because the filter in here is actually a cone filter, so, you know, I'm not sucking air directly into the motor, it goes through the filter still. Yeah, so this routes all the way through here, right behind the battery, into a hole that's already entirely through the car, and this is where it kind of gets a little bit screwy. Yeah, so unmodified, this car does have a hole that you can route that through. All you have to do is disconnect this little rubber piece that sits inside it, and it's like this little cylindrical hole that's literally right there. That's where this little sound tube runs through. And yeah, right now I have it sealed up with duct tape. It looks pretty cruddy. I understand how crappy that is. I'm gonna probably figure out a way to make it a little bit cleaner, but for now this works. So the tube comes out there and it routes up to this little funnel that I got at Walmart for like $5 or something like that. So it sort of displaces the sound outwards. So as you guys are gonna hear from sound clips pretty soon, this results in some real turbo sounds coming in through the car. You can hear it build boost, you can hear it let off boost, you can hear it do pretty much everything. It's weird because it kind of sounds fake because, you know, it's not like all natural turbo sounds coming in through the entire car, but it's clearly not fake because of how realistic it sounds, because it is, you know, real sounds coming through the turbo. So basically what the setup is a sort of do-it-yourself sound actor, because you know that these cars can sometimes come with these little tubes that are supposed to actually route sound from the engine bay into the cabin. So that's essentially what I did. I know it's a little bit of a weird, cruddy little do-it-yourself setup, but I just like it too much to get rid of it. It kind of started as a little bit of a test, but honestly, it sounds too good to get rid of. So we're gonna go for a drive in a minute here and you guys can hear what this sounds like. I got the routing tube at Home Depot, and again I got the funnel at Walmart. Wow, so as I'm making this video, a few garbage things just happened. I put my key in the ignition and then the wipers just flung a bunch of snow all the way on my door, so that stinks. And then I just realized this. Listen to this lovely sound. Sounds like my fan motors are going bad. That stinks. Okay, well, if you guys know anything about this, please let me know in the comments. Well, I've discovered my little fan issue here. It looks like a mouse decided to make an emergency home somewhere in there. So that's great. It still makes the noise even after taking the filter out, but I'll have to fix it later. I've got this video to make. So if this is something that you would like to add to your GTI, it's really not too difficult. Just make sure that the hole you drill... Oh, my cat is coming to say hello. Do not know what she's doing out here in the snow right now. So yeah, it's really not too difficult. Just drill a nice hole in your intake air box if that's what you have. I would not recommend drilling a hole before the filter. You don't want to suck in unwanted particles or anything like that into your engine. That would not be good. And again, it's really not too difficult. You just got to take the battery out to route the tube inside your cabin there. And that is literally just a rubber thing that comes right out, and you can route it through there. And I use tape, but I'm going to figure out some way to make that a little bit cleaner. So yeah, everybody, thank you for watching this. Hopefully this video makes some sense to you guys, and maybe some of you will try this at home. Let me know if you do. I'm Matt Pierce, thanks for watching, and goodbye.